Hey guys, what's up? It's Jay, and what I got here is the Sony FE 28 to 70 millimeter kit lens. I actually got it as a kit with the Sony a7 III, which is what I tested it on. And for this review, I'm going to go over what this lens is capable of, show you some sample photos, build quality, etc. Stay tuned. Alright, so the key features of this lens, basically it goes for about $400. However, it's only $200 if you get it as a kit with the Sony a7 III, for example. So it's an extremely affordable lens, especially when you consider how expensive some of the other lenses are, like the Zeiss lenses, GM lenses, things like that. So for $200, you're off to the races and you're shooting. Overall, this is a good lens, especially for the money. I mean, it does not have that killer color and clarity and sharpness like the Zeiss lenses, but for the money, I mean, I'm talking $200 when you get it as a kit here. It's really good. I mean, for that money, it's extremely capable. I was very impressed overall with the quality. A little bit limited in the range, 28 to 70 as opposed to 24 to 70, so it's not as wide on the wide angle end. And the aperture is a little bit slower. It's f3.5 to f5.6. But the lens is extremely lightweight. It only weighs in at 10.4 ounces, and it's a lot of plastic in the build, It has a 55 millimeter filter thread. It has 9 lens elements in 8 groups. This is obviously designed for the full frame E-mount cameras, by the way. You can also use it on the crop factor cameras, and that will yield you a 42 to 105 equivalent lens, okay? If you want to use it on like the A65 or A6300, for example. It's got optical stabilization built in, which is really nice. It's dust and moisture resistant. That's also a nice feature. The zoom also feels pretty good. It has a 7-blade aperture in there, so you're going to get nice circular bokeh balls, as you'll see in the lab testing photos. It's got an extremely quiet linear AF focus motor, so it's virtually silent when recording video. And I did some focus transition testing. It's also very smooth during the focus transitions, which is quite nice, especially for such an affordable kit lens. So you can use this for video and photos, right out of the gate, and you can get really good results. I mean, in the real world. All right, guys, let's check out some photos in Lightroom. Here is wide open, 28 millimeters f3.5, all right? And you could notice here the distortion is quite significant. Let me just show you that first. If I enable the lens profile correction, you can see the distortion. See that? So that's corrected, that's uncorrected. So it's not crazy bad, and it's easily fixable, but it's worth noting. If you shoot in JPEG mode, the camera will correct that for you. These were shot in RAW. All right, so now looking at the corners, let me just change this to 1:1. All right, there we go. We don't need to be on 2:1. All right, so 1:1, we're looking at really good sharpness, all the way in the corner even. All right, so that's not bad at all. Looking at the dollar bill, looking pretty good. The color rendition is quite good here. You can see the detail on the pipe cleaner units, and you could also see the depth of field fall off here. And also note the bokeh balls in the background. All right, so that's at 28 millimeter. Now we're looking at 34 millimeter. I was trying to get 35, and you can see the distortion here is not near as bad. There's a little bit of vignette, but not much distortion at 35 millimeter, okay? So let me zoom in here and show you the sharpness, and you can see the sharpness is quite good. These were all shot at ISO 100, by the way, and it's sharp all the way to the corner area. You can see the circuit board here looks really good. All right, so now we're looking at 50 millimeter. Let me just show you the distortion quick. And there's quite a bit of distortion at 50 millimeter. You can see there. And then I will zoom in and show you the corner sharpness. And you can see the corner sharpness right here starts to fade in the corner. It definitely falls off a little bit, and you can see how this chip is being stretched a little bit due to the distortion. However, in the center area, sharpness is excellent. And now we're looking at 70 millimeter. All right, let's show you 70 millimeter distortion quick. And you can see right there, pretty significant distortion at 70 millimeter. And I will show you the corner sharpness. You can see the corner sharpness again is a little bit soft. You can see it on these metal circuit board chip legs here, the pins. But you can see the sharpness comes back right around here. And the dollar bill again looks very good. The coins look very good. You could see the highlights look quite good. There's no purple or green fringing or anything like that you might see on the highlights. And here's just another shot. This one's taken at f8 just to show, maximum sharpness. And you can see it sharpened up quite a bit compared to the f3.5 on the original image here. All right, now I just wanted to go over the background bokeh area. So at 70 millimeter, this is what you're looking at. wide open f5.6. You can see the sharpness is quite good on the quarter. And then if you stop it down to f6.3, you can see the bokeh balls change. And here is f8. And notice how they're still nice and round thanks to that 7-blade diaphragm on the aperture mechanism. All right, now here is at wide open 28mm minimum focus distance. And you can see the bokeh balls are quite round and the lab scene is quite buttery looking. It's a very nice out of focus rendering. It's not quite Zeiss level nice, but it's really nice. I mean, for a kit lens, again, the money. You gotta look at the money when you're looking at a lens like this, guys. And now stepping it down to f4.5 and then f5.6. Now, this is what matters. The lab, I just wanted to show you overall sharpness, and the bokeh, you know, at minimum focus distance is great for that. But real world is what matters, okay? So, you know, nitpicking the lens in the lab and stuff, I wouldn't really worry about that too much. I just need to show you that as a baseline, especially when comparing it to other lenses. But the real world is what matters. So let's check these out. So a bunch of photos of Jace on the deck, and this is what this particular lens and camera is great for. You can just point and shoot and get some great photos. And I was using the facial recognition technology, so it automatically was picking Jace's face and locking on and focusing. Makes it really easy to get sharp shots. And here's just a close-up. Here's another one, and the EXIF data is going to be up here on the top left. All right, this photo I did a little bit of work to because I used it to compare to the RX100 Mark VI, which I'm actually filming with right now. Be sure to check out that video review. It's the RX100 Mark VI versus the Sony a7 III with kit lens. All right, it's a pretty cool video, and it's pretty interesting to see what the 1-inch sensor versus the full-frame sensor can do. All right, so check that out if you're interested. Here's another one, and let me just zoom in here and show you some of the sharpness. Like, look at the sharpness on the eye. It's really good. I mean, really good. Just pointing and shooting. Here's just a couple more sample shots on the deck to show you the depth of field fall off and stuff. See there, just changing the focus point. Really buttery with that full-frame sensor. And kit lens here. Some peppers on the barbecue. Let me just zoom in here and show you the clarity. And you can see, it's really good. Here's a truck at work, and I just wanted to show you the background bokeh. Notice how there's no purple fringing or any of that stuff there that you might see with some other lenses. Landscapes, looking at some landscape scenes here. You can see the sharpness. I focused right here in the middle. Let me zoom in here on the metal so you can see the real world sharpness, and you can see it's very good. Very good. Not quite Zeiss, but for the money, this is very good, okay? And I edited this a little bit just to jack the colors up. Same with this photo. Here's just another landscape scene, and I'll zoom in here so you can see some more of the detail. Now, for family fun, this is what most people, I would assume, looking at this type of lens and camera combo would be doing. They're just looking for the best quality for the money, and this is a great kit for that purpose, okay? And it's a great place to start. You could always upgrade the lens later, but a great place to start, in my opinion. And you can see here, Jace's birthday, just turned 4. Really good result. Here's my niece. She's just making a funny face there. Oh, Jace's Aunt Chrissy is an amazing cake maker, and she made this unbelievable dinosaur cake for Jace. Look at this. And you can see real world sharpness. This is a raw file. It's fantastic. Quality is really good at the end of the day when you factor in the price, okay? And you can see it looks quite good. And this is Jace checking out the cake. He was so excited when he saw it. It was a really nice present. And you can see Jace, the birthday boy. A couple more close-ups of the cake. There's a hatching snake there. Here's another snake. And here's Jace just having it up. And when they went swimming here, I just want to show you this is outside with better lighting. And you can just see the clarity and sharpness there. It looks excellent. See that sharpness? So good light, you know, you can really get some killer results. Now, here's just a sample photo on the deck. I just wanted to show you the depth of field fall off of this ornament item. And Jace got this really cool costume for his birthday. He was super happy. And this is a raw file, so the colors are pretty flat. I didn't do anything to these files, but I could definitely jack the colors up a little bit to make them look more like a JPEG, you know? You could see that the colors are a little flat, but I wanted you to see the raw file quality straight off the camera. Here's another one. This was definitely his favorite present for sure. And there's my dad in the background. And down at the Basherkill, I took a couple pictures of these mushrooms, and you can see the detail is remarkable. Background out of focus area looks great. For a kit lens, again guys, I'm really impressed with the quality and cost to value ratio here. Looking at the sun, you can see the lens handled it quite well. Really cool depth of field and out of focus effects you can get. Just a landscape scene. Here's some more landscape scenes. Oh, here's a spider web. Cropped in on this one a little bit, but you can see the spider came out pretty good. I was pretty happy with that shot. And just another, looking at the water here, I wanted to get these bouquet balls with the sun reflection. And you can see that looks pretty good. You can see that background blur is just killer. And looking up at the sky, show you some leaf detail here. And you can see, really good result. A couple more mushrooms on a tree. And here's another one I saw. Now this is just a real world range test, okay? This is 28 millimeter. And I'm just gonna zoom in here. This is 33 millimeter. This is 50 millimeter. And this is 70 millimeter, all right? And this is just an out of focus. I focused on the inside of my door here so you can see what the street looks like out of focus with the kit lens. And this is at 28 millimeter, okay? So it's really good separation you can get. And just looking in my mirror there, this is at 70 millimeter. And here's just one of Layla. This is Layla on the little swing thing. She's really quite the athlete, climbing up on this, balancing on the hangy. She hangs from her feet too. Here's my friend's kid. We were at his birthday the other day, and I just wanted to show you, again, it's just real world shots you can get. Now looking into the sun, this lens doesn't really perform that well. It's a little bit washed out. You can bring the blacks down and that'll help fix for that. But you can see here that at this particular angle, it washed out pretty good. Now looking at some night shots, I was shooting at f13 for this particular image, and it was a 30-second exposure, but I wanted to show you how you can get these cool star effects with the lights. All right, and this is the last image I took. I just took a test photo because I was reviewing this camera as well. And I'll zoom in here to show you sharpness. And you can see my face is out of focus quite a bit just because of the depth of field you get with the full frame format. All right guys, so at the end of the day, the Sony FE 28 to 70 millimeter kit lens is extremely affordable. $200 when you get it as a kit. It's $400 if you buy it standalone. It's extremely lightweight. It's got very quiet and smooth autofocus ability. It works quite well in the real world. The bokeh renderings are pretty good. As you saw, the out of focus area is not bad at all. This is really a perfect lens for somebody just starting out with the camera and they're on a very tight budget, okay? This is the most affordable option and the results are really good. So downside, I mean, it does have a slower aperture, f3.5 to 5.6. It's variable and a little slower. Makes it a little bit harder to use for video because it's not a constant aperture. But other than that, you know, pretty good. A little bit of soft in the corners, a little bit of distortion there. But again, for the money, you really got to factor in for the money. Now, if you're looking for an alternative lens, well, let me go over a few options. All right, guys, so go to my Sony E-mount lens guide and I will go over some alternative lens options, okay? So again, if you're in the market, you're going to be looking at this lens here. That's the one I just reviewed, the 28 to 70 millimeter. Now, if you want more range, but you're still on a very limited budget, you know, relatively limited, you know, let's keep it real here. All these lenses are still a lot of money, but the 24 to 240 millimeter Sony lens is a great lens. I reviewed it extensively. It's really good quality overall, and it'll give you a tremendous range for your full frame format camera, okay? That would be highly recommended, especially those new to photography and the full frame format, and they're looking to get the most possible range for the best value. That lens right there is excellent in the real world, okay? You can really get good results with that, and a lot of people might say it's not the greatest optical quality, but for the money and in the real world, it really does an excellent job, okay? So I would highly recommend checking that lens out. Obviously, if you want the best quality, you can always look at the more expensive GM lenses, Zeiss lenses, things like that, but this review is more for a budget lens, so I was going to stick with like the more budget recommendations. So scrolling down here, if you want a similar range lens, but you just want a faster constant aperture, if you scroll down here, there's the Tamron FE 28 to 75 millimeter f2.8 lens. Now it's quite a bit more money at $800, but it's a much faster aperture. Okay, so you do get something for that money. The reviews on this lens are excellent. I haven't reviewed it myself yet, but it appears to be extremely sharp, very good build. So this is a really good alternative lens to the kit if you're interested in that range in particular, okay? Now, if you want a better quality lens and a better range, the next option, if you want to upgrade, okay? If you're going to upgrade up, what I would get for sure would be the 24 to 105 f4G OSS lens. That's just a workhorse lens. You can use it for pretty much everything. The aperture is constant f4, so that's not going to fluctuate on you if you're recording video and things like that. The aperture isn't like insanely fast. I mean, it is f4, but you get 24 millimeter on the wide end, so you're going to get that better wide angle view, and then 105 is quite a bit of telephoto range, all right? So that would be a highly recommended lens if you're looking for excellent quality and you're looking to upgrade, all right? Now, another option, of course, is the 24 to 70 millimeter Zeiss lens, which is about the same as the 24 to 105. So I would definitely get 24 to 105 over the 24 to 70 Zeiss lens. The f4 24 to 70 Zeiss lens wasn't really the best Zeiss lens I've ever tested. In fact, it was a little soft in the corners and it had quite a bit of distortion. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that lens. If it was, significantly cheaper, I would give it a better rating, but I was a little bit disappointed in that regard. So then you have the GM 24 to 70. That's $2,200. Okay, that's ludicrous money for most people on a budget, but that would be your best quality option if you really want this type of range and speed of aperture, okay? So that's pretty much it for this review, guys. I really hope you got what you were looking for. Again, be sure to check out my email lens guide for all the available lens options. Ask questions below the video. I'll be happy to help, happy to answer any questions you might have. And be sure to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Be sure to subscribe, check that notification icon, and also check out the main website, Sony Alpha Lab. All right, I got a lot of articles up there, a lot of tutorials and things like that that'll help you out. That's pretty much it for this review, guys. I will catch up with you next time. Have a great day.